All right, good morning, guys. Oh, geez. Um, crazy morning. Crazy morning. I have another meeting to run to in about 45 minutes. So I have a hard stop literally in about 45 minutes. And technology, it's good when it works, but when it doesn't, it's a pain in the rear. Okay, so I am going to make sure I'm broadcasting over to YouTube. Make sure you guys can see me over there. Yep, so we are live over on YouTube. Thank you for the one like that I got. Please go ahead and shout yourself out there in the chat. Yeah, I have a hard stop. There's a another meeting. There's the chapter meeting for my other alma mater at noon, and I'm the treasurer. Dr. Dunbar's got so much going on. I have to unload some things. So I have a hard stop. So I'm gonna play the intro now that Phil Moore or Wondershare uh, created the file and let me copy and paste it to another folder. So I'm going to play the intro and then I'm going to start and then I'm going to stop. So I will see you guys on the other side of this Let's Go Blue intro for the 2022 spring game. See you soon. All right, guys. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar, and this is Big Discussions 76 Sports. First of all, please like this stream, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. And that goes for you if you're watching on the playback as well. Guys, the super chat is live. And if you want to donate something to the channel, I will throw my Cash App and PayPal there, but you're under no obligation to do so. I just wanted to do a quick stream. And as I said, I have a hard stop in about 30 minutes. I just wanted to do a quick stream on the latest Michigan football news and give my thoughts on what I saw of last week's spring game. Well, I want to thank everyone who has recently subscribed to the channel. Right now, I'm at 1,090. So I'm 10 away from the next milestone, which is 1,100. So if the algorithm has brought you here, please hit that like button. And if you're watching this and you like my content, please share, give it a tweet, throw it on Facebook, throw it in a Michigan football group if you can. I know that there are rules in some of the Michigan football groups that you can't promote stuff. But point of the matter is, I'm 10 away from the next milestone. So if you're new here, if the algorithm brought you here, if you're from one of the other Power 5 conferences, whatever. I see some people are watching some of my college basketball content, a snippet about John Wallace. If you're new, for whatever reason, if you're here, please hit that like button. Okay, so the super chat is live. If you want to throw something in the tip jar, this poor computer. If you want to throw something in the tip jar, that information is Peanut Butter Hero. What? As Mark Ruffalo's Hulk said in Avengers Endgame, shut the front door. Really? Wow. Well, it's confirmed here by Abdul Gaines. Okay, well, Abdul Gaines is the Minister of Information. Wow. So I have a hard stop. But let's pause for a minute for Dwayne. You guys know Dwayne. I live in the DMV, the Washington D.C. area. Dwayne is from here, so I didn't turn the news on. Well, maybe if I turn the news on now, um, that will they'll be talking about that here because Dwayne is a Washington D.C. Maryland kid. Let me pull up a picture of him. I have pictures of Dwayne, and of course, as a part of the Michigan football fan base. Well, Dwayne um, left his mark on our program 2 years. The 2017 game, um, which was a rebuilding year for us. The game was in our house. JT Barrett got hurt, and I thought that once JT Barrett got hurt, we would win that game. But Dwayne Haskins came in and ripped our hearts out. Showed us his arm, showed us his poise, he showed us what we could do. Hold on a second. This is huge. So guys, I have a hard stop, but let's have a moment of silence for Dwayne Haskins. Now, I know that dead space is not good for YouTube content, but in instances like this, it's certainly worth it. I know that we have two rabid, passionate fan bases, but this is a game, and these pro athletes, these amateur athletes and pro athletes, these are when they're in college, they're kids. When they get to the NFL, they're adults, but they're real people and they have real lives. And I know that Dwayne, uh, he was drafted by the. Should I say the Abdul? Should I say their name? He was drafted by the Washington Redskins, so he came home, and he had some struggles here on the pro level, as a lot of young rookies and young players do. And I think that he had some relationship issues with the woman he was dealing with. Um, but I hadn't really heard that much more about his career after that. But certainly, he is a part of Michigan football lore. He ripped our hearts out in 2017, and then the next year for the Revenge Tour game, Dwayne. Well, I think we could partially thank Don Brown for that, but he tore Don Brown's Viper defense to shreds. He just sat back there, played pitch and catch with Chris Olave and the other Ohio State wide receivers, throwing those crossing patterns and those wheel routes, and on occasion showing us his mobility. And he destroyed us in 2018, and then he declared for the NFL draft. So those are my memories of Dwayne Haskins, and I think he beat out Joe Burrow for that second string quarterback position behind JT Barrett. So, hey, my condolences go out to Dwayne Haskins' family. And I have nothing, despite his struggles in the NFL, I had nothing but respect for that kid. So, with that, let's jump in just to really quick um, advertising items. And I have 3 articles I'm going to try to read through. because I have a hard stop. Guys, please consider joining the Big Words. Let's see. Please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. This link is below in the description box. In addition to being a YouTube content creator, I'm also a writer working on a book. There's a greeting there, and there's a subscription button there at the bottom. This is just going to track my activities as a writer and a content creator. The book I'm working on is called The Engineers, a Western New York basketball story. And I have another promo piece, a video that I'm going to have to process and upload here. It's an interview with a coach from Western New York, Jason Rowe. I was going to show a snippet from the interview, but I don't have time. But please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. In addition to being a YouTube content creator, I am also a writer, and this is my book. The link is in the description box in case you want to take a look at that. It's a real life story about what sports teach you about life, success, and failure going forward into the adult world. Okay, now that that's out of the way, last week's spring game, I was not physically there. Guys, please hit the like button if you're just coming in. Please subscribe if the algorithm brought you here. That goes for everyone on the playback. So I watched a big chunk of the spring game. I wasn't in Ann Arbor. I was in Buffalo celebrating my mom's birthday. And so what I watched, I posted some pictures in my community tab. And I posted, and what I saw, I watched from her living room on her TV. When I turned it on, Cade had finished for the day. And the third string quarterback got the other quarterbacks got the majority of the snaps the rest of the day, and JJ was still hurt from a shoulder injury, so JJ was hurt. We didn't see JJ do anything, but it was very very interesting. Of all my years as a student, I never went to a spring game, because graduate students in the sciences are always very, very busy. And I haven't gone back to a spring game as an alumni. So everything I've seen on TV and I've seen in print. So what stood out to me was Jimbo was very, very involved in the spring game. I don't know what it's like at other schools, but you saw, if you were watching the spring game, you saw a lot of this. You saw, come on, computer, come on. Well, let's see what picture this loads up. Yeah, if you watch the game, you saw a lot of this. Jimbo was on the field with the offenses and with the teams throughout the game, and I've watched Alabama spring games, and during those games, I saw typically Nick Saban on the sidelines, but not right up there in the huddle with his players, coaching them on the field. So I don't know if that's normal, but Jimbo was very much in the thick of things last week. Obviously, one of the major stories, and this is going to chap Abdul Gaines' hide, but one of the big stories of last week's game was this. Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick had a pro day at our spring game. So on Friday, it was Thursday or Friday, pictures of Colin Kaepernick started emerging on Twitter, posing with Cade McNamara, addressing the team, giving them words of encouragement. But I think he and Jimbo, well, clearly him and Jim are still close. We know that Jim is loyal to his players, those that he had positive relationships with. And at halftime, that was used as a pro day for Colin Kaepernick. And what you see Jim Harbaugh right there in the background. Jim was very much hands-on in terms of that whole display. He was directing which routes the receiver should run. He was directing which throws Collins should make. So it was very, very interesting. It was very, very interesting. They last year's spring game was closed, but I think they maximized for everyone. They maximized this one. I think I turned it off after Darius Clemens made his touchdown reception. Devin Gardner was interviewing Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell, as you know, he got hurt in the first game last season, so he missed the entire championship ride. But he's ready to go. He's been coaching up the young guys, and when Devin Gardner was interviewing him, and Darius Clemens caught that touchdown pass, Ronnie Bell ran over there and got in the huddle, and they all took a selfie. So that was kind of cool to see. So I have 3 articles queued up. They're not long. I'm going to try to power through these for the rest of this stream. I have to end in about 20 to 25 minutes. So let's go. If you're new coming in, please hit the like button. I want to thank everyone who's here thus far. Abdul Gaines, Sheed, Peanut Butter Hero. Let's see. I don't know what this reference to UMass Amherst means. Peanut Butter Hero, if you're still here, please let us know what that means. Okay, the first article is takeaways from the spring game. So give me 1 second while I enable my screen share. Let's see. Takeaways. This one is from the Sportsbook Nation, Maize and Brew. This is written by Trevor Woods. Takeaways from Michigan football spring game. There's Jimbo, once again, right in the thick of things. And Cade McNamara, he wore a white jersey, and I think he was done early. And they said on the broadcast that because he was wearing the white jersey, that they could not tackle him. So they weren't taking any chances of Cade McNamara getting hurt. This reads as follows. Michigan spring game unfolded on Saturday afternoon, a game in which the blue team beat the maize team 2012. Here are takeaways from the game. Cade didn't do much, but it's practice. It's important to note the spring game is a glorified scrimmage. McNamara took part in 4 drives, going 3 for 7 for 16 yards. McNamara has plenty of film out there, and a lights-out spring game performance wasn't necessary to figure out the type of player he is. Warren shows potential. Bowman throws for 2 touchdowns. Redshirt freshman walk-on Davis Warren was able to get more playing time during the spring game because J McCarthy is still recovering from arm soreness. Warren made the most of his time, going 12 for 23 for 175 yards and connecting on multiple deep balls. Bowman started off slow, but picked it up in the second half, where he threw a really nice 35-yard touchdown to Darius Clemens. In all, Bowman was 9 for 19 for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Michigan's offense has a lot of speed. Receiver Darius Clemens was targeted 10 times, and although that resulted in just 3 receptions for 52 yards and a score, it's clear he has top-tier speed at 6'3". Amorian Walker showcased his speed on a 39-yard reception. Running back Donovan Edwards did the same on another 39-yard grab. And AJ Henning, who aims to be versatile like Deebo Samuel, had 5 receptions for 32 yards. Displayed that he was one of Michigan's fastest players. They were battling in the trenches. Some spring games feel a little more like NFL pro football when it comes to the offensive and defensive line squaring off, where running lanes are easy to come by. That wasn't the case this year. The lines were battling. Michigan lineman Chris Jenkins had a sack. Defensive lineman TJ Guy had 6 tackles. And on the offensive line, we had our glimpse of Olu Watimi, a Virginia transfer who has impressed his new teammates early on. The effort in the trenches was solid today, and it's clear these units are going at it like this consistently in practice. A first glimpse of Sanderstill on defense. Mike Sanderstill isn't just a receiver these days. He's also playing nickel cornerback And early in the spring game, he showed why he's a natural fit to make the transition to the other side of the ball. Sanger still had a pass breakup deep down the field and showed solid catch-up speed. Finally, Michigan kept things basic, and that was the plan. Once again, this was a glorified scrimmage. Michigan kept things as vanilla as possible, not tipping their hand in regard to any new schematics or wrinkles on offense or defense. The main thing the spring game represented was the introduction of the 22 Michigan football team, a group that's far from a finished product on April 2nd. The day represented a season for fans to come to Michigan Stadium for free and cheer on their team with family and friends. Okay, so that's one. Normally, I try to do that before I start broadcasting. The second article is entitled, it's about J Mccarthy. And I believe this one was published before the spring game. Whoops, wrong link. If you're new coming in, please hit the like button, especially if you're watching on the replay. Okay, this one I think was earlier than the spring game, and it was entitled Breaking McCarthy Reveals Timetable for Return. Yes, this was on April 4th. Okay, breaking McCarthy reveals timetable for return. Michigan fans didn't get an opportunity to see the talented sophomore quarterback on the field during Saturday's annual spring game, but its road to a full recovery appears imminent. So this was published after the spring game. Hey guys, and if you haven't, please take a look at my video discussing whether or not Cade should start or JJ should start. I think the views for that one are slowly starting to tick up. Sometimes you upload something, people don't watch it right away, but folks are starting to support it. So please take a look at that. I give my own analysis and compare their stats, but I think we'll be talking about this for quite a bit over the summertime and into the fall. This was written by Chris Breiler on April 4th. Though Michigan football fans didn't get to see sophomore quarterback J Mccarthy compete on Sunday, it sounds like things are definitely headed in the right direction in terms of his recovery. McCarthy has been dealing with a shoulder injury since before the Orange Bowl against Georgia back on December 31st, 2021. He was able to manage the discomfort during the playoff game and had a pretty good outing, going 7 for 13 for 131 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, a Georgia fan, if you look at by the way, the playback of that live stream, my post semifinal reaction is still performing. People are still going there and still watching that. I think it's a lot of Georgia and SEC fans. But if you look at the comments underneath that stream, Georgia fan is very, very adamant about JJ did that. He didn't do that against our starters. JJ did that against our second and third string defenders. So what you guys saw from JJ, don't be so impressed with that. So Georgia fan has been saying that if you go and watch that stream. There's JJ right there. Since that time, McCarthy has been limited throughout spring ball, participating in various walkthroughs without actually throwing the football. JJ's practicing, just not throwing, said Harbaugh during his most recent press conference. After talking with McCarthy over the weekend, it appears as though that period of time is coming to an end. I was able to catch up with the sophomore quarterback on the sideline prior to Saturday's spring game in the Big House, where he revealed that he'll be back throwing sooner than most people expected. Not yet, said McCarthy, when I asked him if he'd be throwing during the spring game. 15 days. For those counting, that means McCarthy can resume throwing the ball. He can resume throwing the football on Monday, April 18th. Okay, so that's 2 of 3. And then this is the final article, and this will probably chap the hide of Ohio State fan. I'm sorry, Buckeye fan. Okay, so this was written by a quote unquote Ohio columnist. U of M, Harbaugh beating OSU in critical area. Hey, what's going on, Sour YT? Thank you for stopping through. I'm going to read this article, and then I have a hard stop. This reads: the University of Michigan is leading from the front in more than one area when it comes to college athletics, and one columnist from the state of Ohio has taken notice. This is written by Chris Breiler and published on April 7th. It's been a pretty good year for the University of Michigan athletics, to say the least. Here's just a taste of what's been happening in Ann Arbor. Football, the 2021 Big Ten champs. We have the 2021 College Football Coach of the Year. Men's basketball made their fifth straight Sweet 16 appearance. Women's basketball made back-to-back Sweet 16 appearances and its first trip ever to the Elite Eight in program history. Carol Hutchins became the all-time winningest coach in NCAA softball history. Women's basketball coach Kim Barnes-Erico named the Big Ten Coach of the Year. For women's gymnastics, the 2021 national champions and the 2022 Big Ten champions. For men's gymnastics, our men's gymnastics team was the 2021 and 2022 Big Ten champions. Our men's hockey team was the 2022 Big Ten champions in the Frozen Four and made a Frozen Four appearance. Our men's wrestling team was the 2022 NCAA champion, Nick Soriano at 125 pounds. And our men's wrestling team was the 2022 Big Ten champions. And I'm quite certain there are a few I missed in the list. With so much success to boast about on the field of competition, one columnist from the state of Ohio is actually praising the University of Michigan for leading in another critical area of college athletics: diversity. Uh-oh. In a column published to Land Grant Holy Land by the Sportsbook Nation, Meredith Hine credited a U of M, and in particular Jim Harbaugh, for leading on matters of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Though Harbaugh has had no shortage of attention-seeking moments, a sleepover at a recruit's house, climbing a tree, and doing push-ups with a walrus are three examples that come readily to mind. His partnership with Kaepernick could hardly be counted in this category, Hine wrote. Harbaugh has always been a progressive coach, and his commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion has played a prominent role in his coaching philosophy through the years. According to Hine, you don't have to look very hard to find evidence of this practice throughout Harbaugh's tenure at the University of Michigan, even beyond the presence of Colin Kaepernick last weekend. Case in point, just last month, Harbaugh hired Milan Mimi Bolden Morris as a graduate assistant. Wrote Hine, with the hire, the former Boston College Georgetown basketball player became the first woman to coach in a Power 5 conference. Beyond Harbaugh's actions, Hine says the University of Michigan is clearly making an effort to lead from the front on such a crucial issue. The University of Michigan and its athletic department haven't been without their fair share of controversies as of late, most notably the firing of President Mark Schlissel over an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate, wrote Hine. There was also, as alluded to earlier, that time when Howard hit a Wisconsin assistant coach, leading to Howard's suspension at the end of the regular season this spring. However, what the athletic department has done is made waves in areas of diversity, equity, and inclusion that have not been matched by other schools in the Big Ten, including Ohio State. I said this would chap Buckeye fans' hide, and I knew it would chap Abdul Gaines' hide. you can read Heinz' full article here. Guys, all three of those articles are in the description box. But let's see what Abdul Gaines has to say about Kaepernick and about diversity and about inclusion. Here we go. Diversity, equity, and inclusion won't save you. Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, guys. Abdul Gaines, our resident super fan. That's what I call him, our resident super fan. He has Thanksgiving 2022 circled on his calendar already. So he's on a countdown. He wants that revenge against Jimbo in the Michigan football program. So here we go. Kaepernick is a social media justice warrior. So Abdul Gaines is no Colin Kaepernick fan. I think one of Abdul Gaines's signature lines when Colin started his protest was that Colin Kaepernick's mind is not on football, and it hasn't been for a while. All right, guys, I have a hard stop. I just wanted to do something. I just wanted to do a Michigan football update. I wanted to say something about the spring game. It's been a busy week. I got back here from Buffalo on Tuesday night. It was late, and I wanted to keep feeding the channel. And also, once again, I'm up to 1,100 subs. No, I'm up to 1,090 subs. So I need 10 more to get to 1,100. So if the algorithm brought you here, if you're new, please subscribe to the channel. Help me get to that milestone and beyond. It'd be cool if I could get up to 2,000 subs and beyond. So yeah, I'll stop this here. Please, yeah, Dre, what's going on, Dre? We talked about this when the stream first started. Abdul Gaines and Peanut Butter Hero informed me. I've been busy doing things this morning, and I didn't see it on Twitter. I'll bet I live here in the DMV, so I bet once I turn on the news here, they will say a lot about it because he is a Washington, D.C. kid. And as you know, he was drafted by Abdul Gaines. Can I say the name? Should I use Redskins or Commandos? Or Redskins or Commanders? He was drafted by the Washington Redskins. So I'm certain once I turn the TV on and listen to the radio, that's going to be all over the news here in the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. But guys, I have another meeting at noon. Maybe I'll do something on Dwayne Haskins. Maybe I'll do a stream, or I don't have time to do a pre-record, but maybe I'll do a stream just on Dwayne Haskins. You know, he ripped our hearts out as Michigan fans, but I give respect to opponents. And that kid, he had a when his head. I can't speak to what happened to him at the pro level for the Washington Redskins. And some of the off the field troubles that he had, but I know that as an Ohio State Buckeye, he showed and proved, as they say in hip hop music, he showed and proved. He could throw it, he was accurate, and the kid could play. So, guys, I gotta run. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please consider joining the Big Words LLC Newsletter. Check out my book project, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story. If you want to throw something in the tip jar, that information is below in the description box via Cash App or PayPal. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Go Blue. RIP, rest in power, Dwayne Haskins. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys the next time. Bye-bye.